Hello, this is Paul from Foresight Tech. This lecture we are going to learn two terminology, but the basics of statistics. So the first is called the parameter. The second is called the statistic. Right? You always call it statistics. Statistic, parameter. There's two. So what is parameter? So we have the definition. So parameter is a number calculated from population. Remember? So population is all the data. And from all the data, we calculate something or we get something, we call it parameter. Do we have a population or the data? No, we don't have. Means parameter usually is unknown parameter. But we do have a sample, right? So from sample, what do we get? We call the statistic. See, statistic is a number calculated from sample. This is much more important. Okay, when we get a sample, we can calculate something. We call it statistic. And this is what we need to do. Use statistic. Statistic is used to estimate the parameter for population, right? That's what we call the draw conclusion from the sample for population. If I draw a graph, somebody draw a graph. This is a population. Okay, like all the data points, but we do not have all the data. This is a population. So, like each one represent the salary of each man in the United States. See, this is all the data for the man in the United States. Okay, or the salary, right? But we do not have this. So each point is data point, right? This is a data point, all the point. But we do not have all the data. What do we do if we're going to draw? Yeah, this we call a sample, right? So we call it sample. And if from the sample, what do we get? Okay, from the sample we get what? We get this thick, okay, or like the average of this sample. So this is average from the sample. We can use the average of the sample to estimate the average of the population. Okay. And another, what is the parameter? The parameter is from population. Okay, from population we have a parameter. What is a statistic? What is parameter? This is two concept. Statistic is the basic for statistics. And two example. The first, we look at this example. After inspecting all of 55,000 kilograms of meat stored at this company, it was found that 45,000 kilograms of the meat was spoiled. See what the value. So now look at it. The value of 45,000 represents what? So the question is, what is 45? Okay, is this a parameter or statistic? Or what we need to do, look at where is this data came from. This data directly came from the population. Why? Because the company inspected all of the meat, right? So all of this meat, this is a population. We know this is a population. See, from this population we found, okay, and this number came from population. So what do we call it? We call it parameter, right? Parameter. This we call the parameter, because this data came from population. And the second, a sample of 120 employee of a company is selected. Okay, look at it first. It says a sample of this. This is not a population. This is sample, right? It's easy to see. All the employee, probably like 1,000, 10,000, is only pick 120. And the average age is found to be 37 years. Okay, so this is the question. The question is, the value of 37 represent the what? So where is this data came from? This data not came from population, right? It came from the sample. So this sample, we're going to this data, right? So this data came from sample, we call it what? We call the statistics. This we call the statistic, okay? And so A is the solution. And we will use this statistic, the average from sample, to estimate what is the population phenomenon. This is two basic concepts. Thank you.